This is Lillian Victoria, and I am the author for Own Your Path. In this video, you're going to hear a little podcast breakdown from my clients. They were the first people that read the book. They made a podcast breaking down chapter to chapter so you know what this book entails. After working with people around the world, I put together a roadmap to help people that's looking for their own version of success, to be able to own your path, and most importantly, to be at peace. It's a thin book because it's packed with information for you to apply. I go straight to the point. I also wrote this as if I was writing it to my younger self. What did I want in my life? What was gonna help me to have a better peace, to take control of my own life? Swinson has a really great saying, we all live two lives, but the moment you know you only have one, you start living your second life. So this is what this book is gonna help you with. Now you can go ahead and pre-order or order. There's a barcode that's gonna come up, links below, and let's get into it.
Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be diving deep into a book all about defining your own success.
Awesome.
It's called Own Your Path.
Okay.
And it's by Lillian Victoria Eng, she's kind of amazing. She's worked as an entertainment executive and a life coach.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty unique combo.
Yeah, she really brings these two worlds together, achieving big goals and understanding how your mind works. I mean, one of the things that really stuck with me from the book was how much she talks about being present, not dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, but really being here now. She even quotes Mother Teresa, who said, yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today. Let us begin.
I mean, it's so true, right?
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in what's already happened or what might happen, but the only place where we can actually make a difference is right now.
Yeah, totally. It's like our energy gets wasted when we're stuck in the past or future. But when we're present, Eng says that's where our power is. That's where we can create and get things done. Have you ever noticed how when you're totally absorbed in something, you completely lose track of time?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's like you enter this flow state, right?
Yes.
You're fully engaged and you're just operating at your peak.
And it's not just about productivity either. It's also about finding peace and gratitude in this moment.
Absolutely. Being thankful for what we have.
Yeah, she has this quote from Melody Beattie that says, "Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow."
Ooh, I like that.
Right, so we've got to be present, but then Theng takes it a step further. He says we also have to seize growth opportunities.
Okay, interesting.
These opportunities, she says, are often right in front of us, but we miss them because we're not paying attention. She quotes Napoleon Hill, who said, "Opportunity often comes disguised in the form of misfortune or temporary defeat."
So it's we're so busy looking for the big break.
Exactly.
That we overlook those smaller chances that could lead to something amazing.
Yeah, maybe it's taking on a new project at work that stretches you, or finally starting that side hustle you've been thinking about. These might seem small, but they can lead to huge growth.
And she also talks about letting go of things that are holding us back,
Ooh, that's
bad habits, limiting beliefs, maybe even some relationships. Got to make space for the new stuff.
So true. She actually shares a personal story in the book about how she took a risk and followed her intuition, and it led to this incredible breakthrough in her life. It makes you realize that sometimes you have to trust that inner voice.
Stepped outside that comfort zone. I like it. There's a quote by John D. Rockefeller. "Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great."
Oh, I love that. And then she takes us in a bit of a different direction. She starts talking about this idea of trusting in a power greater than ourselves.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, whether you call it the universe, God, or something else entirely.
So how do you balance that kind of faith with the actions we need to take?
Right. Well, she uses this term cosmic co-creation, meaning our actions work together with this, unseen power. And she actually uses the story of David and Goliath as an example.
Ah, yes, the underdog facing the giant. Great story.
Exactly. And remember how David said, "The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine."
Yeah, he had a strong belief.
So it was his faith, coupled with his own preparation and courage, that led him to, win.
But he didn't just, sit back and wait, right? He still had to use his skills.
Right. And that's what Eng emphasizes. Faith without action is kind of pointless. She quotes Robert Collier, "Faith without action is dead. Action is the food and drink which will nourish my success.
So it's got to be both.
Okay, this next part is really interesting. Aang says we need to completely reframe how we think about failure. Instead of seeing it as like the end, think of it as a first attempt in learning.
Ooh, I like that.
Right.
So it's a stepping stone.
Yeah, like a stepping stone to success.
Right.
She actually brings up Thomas Edison's, thousands of failures before he finally invented the light bulb.
Wow.
It's amazing, right?
What persistence.
And it reminds me of that Edison quote. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up.
It's so easy to get discouraged.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit and talk about focus. Aang describes willpower as this tool for staying focused on what really matters.
Oh, okay. So it's like, how do we block out distraction?
Exactly. She uses the analogy of a javelin thrower, like aiming for the bullseye. They have to tune out everything else and focus on that one point.
That's a good visual.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And it can feel so overwhelming these days, with like a million things competing for our attention. Aang stresses how crucial it is to prioritize, to be super selective about what we let into our mental space. She even quotes Elon Musk, who said, "Focus on signal over noise. Don't waste time on stuff that doesn't actually make things better."
So cutting through the clutter.
Yeah, like getting to the heart of what actually matters. She actually talks about Warren Buffett's two-list strategy, which is this super cool method for prioritizing.
Tell me about that.
So imagine you have a list of your top 25 goals.
Okay.
You then circle your top 5. Those become list A, and everything else goes on list B.
Interesting.
Now, here's the key. You focus solely on your list A goals until they're done. List B gets ignored, even though those goals might still be important.
So like serious commitment to the top priorities.
Exactly. And it really ties into that Napoleon Hill quote from Think and Grow Rich. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
Powerful stuff.
And also points out that discipline and sacrifice are often necessary to reach your goals.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's not always easy.
It's about making tough choices, saying no to distractions, and playing the long game. She quotes Jim Rohn, "Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment."
It's true. A delayed gratification,
Okay, get ready for this. Aang dives right into fear. She calls it this primal instinct, like part of our human programming to keep us safe.
But it can hold us back, too.
Totally. And she acknowledges that fear can keep us from, reaching our full potential. But here's the thing. She gives us tools for facing that fear and turning it into, fuel for growth.
Oh, I like that. What kind of tools?
One technique is actually personifying your fear.
Okay. So, giving it a name.
Yeah, give it a name and talk to it directly.
Interesting.
It sounds strange, but she says that by putting it outside of yourself,
Yeah.
you create this distance, giving you more control.
So you take away its power.
Exactly. She also talks about the choice between faith and fear, saying that both require belief in something you can't see. She quotes Bob Proctor. Faith and fear both demand you believe in something you cannot see. You choose.
So it's a choice.
Yeah, we get to choose which emotion will lead us.
And those little steps outside our comfort zone are key, too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where growth happens.
That reminds me of the Roosevelt quote. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Powerful stuff. And now Aang shifts focus to our external environment, specifically the people we surround ourselves with. She uses that well-known Jim Rohn saying, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with."
So our company matters.
Big time.
Yeah.
She's asking us to be really honest. Are the people around us lifting us up or holding us back?
It's a good question to ask.
And she's not afraid to say that negativity can be, contagious. She even uses that phrase, "misery loves company."
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So we have to be careful who we let into our lives.
Surround ourselves with good influences.
She suggests, actively seeking out people who expect success, who've already achieved what we want.
So find those mentors.
Exactly. And she quotes Oprah. Surround yourself only with people who are going to lift you higher.
It's like creating that positive, uplifting energy.
She even challenges us to become part of their top 5, the people who have the biggest impact on their lives.
Oh, wow. That's a goal.
But how do we do that?
Right.
Well, it's not about, forcing our way in. It's about offering genuine value, being supportive.
So contributing to their lives.
Exactly. It's about genuine connection.
Like a two-way street.
Yeah. Reid Hoffman, the co-founder of LinkedIn, said, your network is the people who want to help you and you want to help them, and that's really powerful.
It's about mutual support.
Now, she talks about creating your own luck.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
I know, right? Luck is usually seen as this random thing, but Nang says it's not. She argues that luck is often the result of preparation meeting opportunity.
I see.
She quotes Seneca. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity.
So it's about being ready.
Yeah, like putting in the work, developing your skills, so that when an opportunity arises, you're ready to grab it.
Makes sense.
And she stresses that luck favors those who are active, who are constantly learning and growing. She includes this quote from Thomas Jefferson. I find that the harder I work, the more luck I seem to have.
So effort plays a role.
Definitely. And awareness is key, too, being able to spot those opportunities, even when they might look like challenges.
Right. Sometimes it's hard to tell.
Eng also adds that a positive attitude and taking action are essential for attracting luck. She believes that luck thrives on momentum, on that energy we create when we're pursuing our goals with enthusiasm.
It's like building that positive energy.
Exactly. It reminds me of Simon Sinek. Success is when reality catches up to your imagination.
That's good.
Now, here's where she challenges that hustle culture mentality. She says that sometimes slowing down can actually help us speed up.
Really? That's interesting.
I know, right? It's like counterintuitive. She quotes Arianna Huffington, who said, we think, mistakenly, that success is the result of the amount of time we put in at work, instead of the quality of time we put in.
So it's not about burning ourselves out.
Exactly. It's about working smarter, not harder. Eng brings in Stephen Covey's idea of sharpening the saw.
Right, for the 7 habits.
Yeah. It's about taking time to renew ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally.
We charge.
So we can be more effective. She even talks about how Bill Gates would take a think week every year, like going off to a cabin to just think and plan.
Wow.
And she stresses asking ourselves regularly, what am I really working towards?
Good question.
It's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and lose sight of the big picture. She even quotes Tim Ferriss. Being busy is a form of laziness, lazy thinking, and indiscriminate action.
It's about being intentional.
And then Eng really challenges how we think about resources and opportunity. She says we tend to focus on what we lack instead of what we have.
Right, that scarcity mindset.
Exactly. She uses this powerful metaphor, sitting on an acre of diamonds.
Oh, I like that.
She quotes Earl Nightingale. You are at this moment standing right in the middle of your own acres of diamonds.
So we have more than we realize.
Yeah, like we have so much potential within us and around us.
We just need to see it.
Inget encourages us to start creating with what we already have, to use those resources and skills we already possess.
Instead of waiting for the perfect moment.
Right. She even quotes Ecclesiastes 11:4, which says, whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap.
It's a call to action.
And she ties it all back to having a clear vision and believing in ourselves. She quotes Wayne Dyer. You are not stuck where you are unless you decide to be.
So powerful.
It's about realizing we have the power to create the life we want. And she encourages us to take action, to start with what we have, and to believe in ourselves. She quotes Zig Ziglar. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.
I love that.
It's a simple but profound message.
Probably.
And that's where we'll wrap up part 1 of our deep dive into Own Your Path.
Can't wait for more. It's kind of crazy how we can get stuck thinking, oh, I need this or that to reach my goal. But we forget about all the amazing stuff we already have.
Yeah, it's like we're blind to our own abundance, right? Ning really pushes us to like flip that script.
Yeah.
To appreciate what's right in front of us.
And recognizing that abundance, you know, it's often the key to unlocking our potential.
Totally. It's like instead of starting from 0, we're already at like a 5 or a 6.
I like that.
And speaking of what we already have, one of the things Eng really dives into is surrounding yourself with the right people.
Ah, yes. Your tribe.
Right. But she gets super specific about how to actually build that network, you know? Not just like general advice.
I'm all for specifics. Lay it on me.
Well, she starts by asking you to like really look at the people you're spending the most time with.
Okay.
Are they lifting you up, dragging you down? Are they fueling your dreams or like feeding your doubts?
Oof. Those are tough questions, but super important ones. It's easy to, you know, just go with the flow and not realize how much our social circle is influencing us.
Yeah, totally. Aang actually uses this analogy about a financial crisis. Like, imagine you're facing a major money problem.
Oh, okay. I can see where this is going.
The people around you can either help you problem solve and stay positive,
Right.
or they can totally freak out and make it a million times worse.
Amplify the fear.
Exactly. So our environment matters, like big time.
Yeah, who you surround yourself with, it makes a huge difference.
And she's pretty blunt about negativity being contagious. Like, she uses that phrase, misery loves company.
Oh yeah, 100%. Negativity can spread like wildfire.
So we got to be intentional about who we let into our inner circle.
For sure.
She suggests, like, actively seeking out people who expect success, who are already where you want to be.
Mentors and role models.
Exactly. And she quotes Oprah, which, come on, Oprah knows a thing or two about success. Surround yourself only with people who are going to lift you higher. Love that. And then she takes it a step further. She actually challenges you to try to become part of their top 5.
Whoa. That's next level. But how do you even,
Right. It's not about being fake or forcing your way in.
Right.
It's about adding real value to their lives, being supportive, showing genuine interest.
So being a good friend, basically.
Yeah, like a real authentic connection, not just like a networking thing.
I can dig it.
It reminds me of something Reid Hoffman, the LinkedIn guy, said. Your network is the people who want to help you, and you want to help them, and that's really powerful.
Mutual support.
Okay, are you ready for this? She then gets into creating your own luck.
Wait, what? Create luck? I thought that was, like, random.
Right. That's what most people think. But Neng has a different take. She argues that luck is often about preparation meeting opportunity.
Okay. Tell me more.
She quotes Seneca. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity.
I see. So it's not just sitting around hoping to win the lottery.
Exactly. It's about putting in the work, honing your skills so when that door opens, you're ready to walk through it.
Got it.
She says luck often goes to those who are actively creating, learning, and preparing themselves. You know that Thomas Jefferson quote? I find that the harder I work, the more luck I seem to have.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
It's all about effort, but also awareness, being able to spot those opportunities, even when they might look like, a challenge or a setback.
It's tricky.
It is. But Aang adds that having a positive attitude and taking action are also key for attracting luck. She believes that luck feeds on momentum, on that energy we create when we're, like, really going after our goals.
So it's about that forward motion.
Yeah, and believing in yourself. It reminds me of that Richard Branson quote. If somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you are not sure you can do it, say yes, then learn how to do it later.
Love it.
Okay, now for a bit of a curveball. She challenges that whole hustle culture mentality. She's saying that sometimes slowing down can actually help us speed up.
Now that's interesting. I mean, everyone's always talking about hustle, hustle, hustle.
Right, but she's like, hold on a sec. She quotes Ariana Huffington, who said, we think, mistakenly, that success is the result of the amount of time we put in at work instead of the quality of time we put in.
So it's about being more strategic with our time.
Exactly, working smarter, not just harder. And she brings in that idea from Stephen Covey, sharpening the saw. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, from the 7 Habits.
It's about making time to recharge,
Totally.
Mentally, emotionally.
Self-care.
So important.
Totally. She even talks about how Bill Gates would take a whole week every year, like a think week, just to, like, disconnect and think deeply.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing. And she stresses, like, asking ourselves regularly, what am I actually working towards?
Yeah, making sure you're on the right path.
Right. Because it's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and lose sight of the big picture. She actually quotes Tim Ferriss, who said, being busy is a form of laziness, lazy thinking, and indiscriminate action.
Oh, that's good. So it's not just about being busy, it's about being intentional.
Intentional and focused.
Okay, now she really challenges how we think about resources and opportunities. She says we tend to, like, hyper-focus on what we don't have instead of appreciating all the good stuff that's already there.
That scarcity mindset can be a real trap.
Totally. And she uses this awesome metaphor, sitting on an acre of diamonds.
I like that.
It comes from Earl Nightingale, who said, you are at this moment standing right in the middle of your own acres of diamonds.
So we're already surrounded by abundance.
Exactly. We just got to open our eyes and see it, instead of always searching for that next thing or that validation from somewhere else.
Right.
It's like, look inward, explore your own strengths, your talents, your connections.
Love it.
And she encourages us to start creating with what we've got. Like, use those resources and skills instead of waiting for the perfect moment or that missing piece.
Yeah, just start.
She even quotes Ecclesiastes 11.4, which says, "Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap."
Action is key.
Right. And she ties it all back to having that clear vision, believing in yourself. She quotes Wayne Dyer, who said, "You are not stuck where you are unless you decide to be."
So empowering.
It's about taking ownership of your life, creating the life you want.
Love that.
And that's a great place to pause for now.
Wow, we've really gone deep on Lillian Victoria Eng's Own Your Path.
It's such a good book. So much to unpack about, creating a life you love, finding success on your own terms.
What I really appreciate is, like, how she blends her personal stories with, like, those classic success principles.
Oh, it makes it so much more real. Like, she's not just preaching from some ivory tower.
Totally. It's like she's saying, hey, I've been through it, I've messed up, I've learned,
It's more relatable that way.
Yeah, it makes you believe you can do it too.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, like, what are some of the biggest takeaways that you think our listeners will connect with?
Well, for me, it all starts with mindset. Eng really hammers home the idea that our beliefs shape our reality. What you focus on, it grows.
It's like she's saying, your thoughts are seeds. You plant seeds of doubt, you're going to get a crop of doubt. But plant seeds of confidence and, well, you get the idea.
Exactly. Love that analogy. And she doesn't just leave you hanging with that concept. She actually gives you, like, practical tools to shift your mindset.
Yeah, like visualization, affirmations, surrounding yourself with positive people, all that good stuff.
Right. It's about, like, creating that internal environment for growth.
But it's not just about thinking positive thoughts, right?
Right.
Eng is very clear about that. It's about taking action, too.
Oh, absolutely. She's all about faith and works. You got to walk the walk.
Yeah, you can't just sit around visualizing all day. You got to get out there and do the thing, even when it's scary.
And she's not afraid to acknowledge that, there will be setbacks. You're going to make mistakes. You might even fail sometimes.
Yeah, but she's like, don't let that stop you. She actually encourages us to, like, reframe those failures as opportunities to learn and grow.
So it's not the end of the world. It's just like a data point. Okay, I tried this. It didn't work. Now I'm going to adjust and try again.
Yeah, I love that. And, she reminds us that we're not alone in this. It's so important to build a strong support system.
Totally. Those people who have your back, who believe in you, they can make all the difference.
Find your tribe, your mentors, your cheerleaders.
Exactly. Because sometimes you just need that extra boost, that reminder that you're capable of amazing things.
And sometimes it's about trusting your gut and taking a leap of faith.
Oh, yeah. Eng talks about creating your own luck. Remember that.
Like being prepared, aware of those opportunities, and then having the courage to go for it.
You never know what amazing things might happen.
And finally, she leaves us with this really powerful message. Start with what you have.
So much wisdom in that.
I know, right? It's about appreciating the abundance that's already there, all those resources and skills we have, even if we don't always see them.
Instead of waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect resources, just start creating.
Exactly. It's like that quote, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.
Love that.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Own Your Path, I want to leave you with this question. What acre of diamonds are you overlooking in your own life?
That's a good one to ponder.
It's all about perspective, right? Recognizing the abundance that's already there and then taking action.
Creating the life you want, one step at a time.
That's it for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us.